What is up, everybody? Today I want to give my first impressions on Final Fantasy XIV. This is going to be very akin to what I did with my Guild Wars 2 video, and that I'm just going to be listing off a pros and cons list of the game. So let's go ahead and take a look here. This is my first time ever using OBS, so I'm interested. Is it going to show? No, it does not. Okay, so I have a total of 47 hours in the game. And I feel like that's probably enough to give my first impressions on it. Now you're probably wondering, how the fuck are you level 72? And that is, I got to like level 35, and then I decided to get a level booster because, in all honesty, things were kind of slow. And I am glad I did it overall. Now I understand people are probably going to be like, well, for your first character, that's kind of a dumbass idea. And yeah, I was like, this is probably a stupid idea, but I'm going to do it anyway. And I am glad I did it because I'm not overwhelmed at all. I previously played a ton of Guild Wars 2 and then a ton of World of Warcraft. And this game is actually similar in a lot of ways to World of Warcraft, at least for me. And that World of Warcraft, I actually used the level booster for my first character. And I got really overwhelmed, but I kept on that character. And I guess that kind of experience gave me a bit more experience with this sort of thing. But basically, I just want, like I said, let's get into the pros and cons list. And so honestly, I got into this game because I was getting kind of bored of Guild Wars 2, and I decided to get into it. So I actually started off as a Marauder because I didn't realize that it was going to be a tank. I don't think it told me it was a tank. So I was like, when I found out that I was a tank and I got to level 15 and asked me to go queue for the first dungeon, it's a tank, and I was like, oh fuck. So I ended up switching jobs or classes to, I don't even know how to say it. It's the one that comes before Black Mage, and I evolved into a Black Mage, and then I just kind of continued from there. And Black Mage is so much fun. I love Black Mage because of the big ass explosions. Let's get in the first combat, or the first pro, and that is the combat. The combat in this game, despite it being tab targeted and being more akin to World of Warcraft than Guild Wars 2, it's still really fun. I think mainly because of the animations. The animations in World of Warcraft are so ridiculously outdated. The Black Mage probably has some of the coolest animations in the game, and that literally almost everything is basically an explosion. I mean, you have Blizzard 3 here, which is not necessarily an explosion, but is, kind of like a big effect. And then you have Freeze, you have Blizzard 4. I don't use Blizzard 4 very much. You have Thunder 4, then you have Thunder 3, and then Fire 3, and then the Big Daddy Fire 4. I mean, these things give insane. I mean, you have fucking, dude, Foul and Flare are just insane looking. I mean, there's so many insane looking abilities. I have played with Samurai a little bit, and that has some really cool looking abilities too. But I've always been a big fan of the casting kind of mage sort of class, so this is obviously what I was going to go with. What the fuck? There's a random... Is that an NPC? No, I guess not. I thought that was an NPC for a second. What the fuck are they... Okay, anyway. Yeah, the combat is fantastic. Now, I can't speak much for other classes, but I know in the Black Mage the combat feels amazing. Now, it can sometimes feel bad because of the long cast times. And the long cast times probably, in my opinion, make the combat feel better because of the global cooldown being 2.5 seconds, and that can kind of suck a lot of the time. But when your spells take up the global cooldown or more, you can like spam spells. It feels like. So I really, really like that personally, and I just love the Black Mage. Eventually, I'm sure I will get into other classes and level them up, and I'm not going to use a level booster for the other classes. I know that. I'll do one class probably where I don't use a level booster, but I don't really know. Number 2, you might have heard it in the background. I have the volume pretty low. It's the music. The music in this game is, dude, it is fucking orgasmic. At first I didn't like it, but listening to it more, it's honestly on par with the World of Warcraft. It is absolutely amazing. It has that sort of ambient music quality that Jeremy Soule brought to Guild Wars 2, but it also has that epic fantasy feeling that World of Warcraft brings. It feels like a beautiful hybrid of the two games, because Guild Wars 2, in all honesty, the combat music kind of sucks, but the ambient music is fantastic, or it's kind of the opposite for me with World of Warcraft, at least for the most part. The Elwynn Forest music is absolutely beautiful, but I digress. The music in this game is fantastic. The Shadowbringers soundtrack is so ridiculous ridiculously weird, but I love it. It's nothing like any other game I've ever played. The combat music, there's like lyrics and shit to it. It's like, what the this is the weirdest shit. Oh, this is my favorite track. I love this track so much. Hold on. I just want to listen to this. I love this track. This is the only track that I've listened to outside of the game. This is so fun. I love it so much. And the next pro here is going to be the cities. Now, this is by far the best city, and that is Limsa Luminisa or Luminisa? I don't even fucking know. This is definitely the best city. I mean, you could see that pretty much everybody comes here because I mean, let's be honest, this city seems to have way more shit and it's way better laid out than the other cities, at least in my opinion. The other cities are really cool, but this city is so fucking awesome. It looks amazing. It just is laid out great. And I really love it for that. It's just a really well laid out place. I've pretty much memorized it by now, which is pretty impressive. Yeah, next one here is going to be the dungeons. Now, I have done quite a bit of dungeons so far. I've done a lot of the early level ones, and then I've done the first Shadowbringers one quite a bit, and I love it. It's a lot of fun. The dungeons, honestly, are way cooler than World of Warcraft's. Even like the early game dungeons, I actually like over Battle for Azeroth's dungeons. I mean, maybe besides... Actually, no, the Karazhan was in Legion. What am I saying? But it was just, I mean, fan-fucking-tastic. The dungeons are, from what I could tell so far in the game, fan-fucking-tastic. They are so much fun to do. And yeah, the next thing here is going to be Truss. I'm going to give this a quick mention as I've not done it too much, but I really like Truss. At first I hated them because of how long they take, and then I kind of gave it a second guess because I'm a DPS class, right? And for the dungeon I was doing, the first Shadowbringers dungeon, it usually takes around 20 to 25 minutes to find a group for it, which is quite a bit of time. I got it done in, I think, about 30-35 minutes. So, yeah, like 35 minutes, 30 minutes-ish, because of how these guys can't do AoE, unfortunately. And in total, that's probably quicker than actually waiting for the queue and then doing... Now, yes, you can go... Oh, god damn, that guy's fucking annoying. You can go off and do other stuff. I pretty sure you can go out and fish and stuff like that while it's happening. Yeah. The next thing here is going... Oh, I forgot to explain what trusts are. Trusts are basically... you could go into dungeons and you can take AI companions with you, which is really, really cool. It's an instant... I'll just do it right now. Look, instant queue, which is so fucking awesome for DPS players such as myself. Because the DPS queues are so fucking long, it's crazy. But anyway, next thing up here is going to be the explanation during leveling. Now, I see tons of people talking about how the explanation during the leveling sucked. I found it to be perfectly fine. I got a grasp for a lot of the things in the game. Obviously, it doesn't tell you everything. There's no fucking way in hell any MMO could do that kind of shit with all the fucking shit it has. I mean, this game has a ton of systems, a ton of mechanics working behind it. It's crazy how much shit there is in this game. It's fucking fantastic how much stuff there is. And I never found it once where I'm like, well, what the hell? What the hell is this, you know? With their explanations. Obviously, some things you have to look up. It's an MMO, for Christ's sake. If you're not wanting to look up shit, don't play a fucking MMO. It's a goddamn MMO. Since the fucking dawn of time. Remember ThoughtBot back in World of Warcraft? People would look shit up on there. Yeah, you're gonna need to do that for MMO games. I'm sorry, but if you don't like that, don't play an MMO. Yeah, next thing is going to be retainers. Now, I recently got into retainers, and so far, I really like it. It's actually kind of akin to the mission table in World of Warcraft. But it's way cooler than the mission table, in my opinion. So basically, you have the retainers here. Now, you can basically give them shit, and they'll just sell it for you on the market, which I think is cool. They'll just sell it normally. I think that's cool, though. You can kind of just go into your inventory here, go to the armory chest, and just sell whatever on the market. And then I think it actually puts your price lower than the other people. I'm not entirely sure. I just kind of sell it anyway. But yeah, and then there's these things called adventures, which is essentially sending your followers out on missions in the mission table. And right now I have one going out. This is my first ever one. He's doing field exploration. I have my character as the one previous to a black mage as well. And yeah, it's gonna level him up, or her up rather. It's gonna level her up, and she's gonna do better and better and better against the shit, I would think. And yeah, I think that's really cool. You can actually get 2 retainers, and I think you could pay more to get on the microtransaction shop to get more of them. Speaking of which, the next thing is actually, you know what? I think that's probably good enough. Retainers are pretty simple, but they're really fucking cool. I really, really like them. The next thing is going to be the microtransaction shop. Now, what's weird about it is that you can't find it in the game. You actually have to go on the Mog Station, which is like the website, which is basically, how do I explain it? It's kind of like going on the World of Warcraft website and looking at your character and shit like that. It's kind of like that, except there's like way more shit to it. You can like renew your subscription on there. That's how you renew your subscription, actually. You could, you know, redeem time cards there and stuff like that. You could do a ton of other shit. There's like veteran rewards and stuff on there. And then you have the optional items, which is the shop. Now, optional items, that is such a weird name to have the cash shop on, but that's how it is. And so the cash shop never really felt like forced at all. Like, it really wasn't forced. The only time they ever like are like, hey, there's a cash shop, is on the launcher, and that's really it. That's so awesome. I cannot like express how fucking awesome that is. Now, there are a few like utility items, I guess, and that basically is you could like skip through the story, and you can do a level booster, and I think that's really it. You could also customize your character's like appearance and stuff like that. And that also kind of begs the question, though, why does the microtransaction shop even exist? Like, I'm actually kind of wondering why it does, right? Because we buy the game, we buy the expansions. I don't mind the level boosters and shit. I actually kind of like that personally. I think that's a cool item for people who like that kind of stuff, such as myself. And the story skippers and stuff like that, that's cool too. For people who like that kind of stuff. I don't know why you would do that. I don't know. I'm still yet to figure out why people would do that. But, yeah, it's cool, I guess. But yeah, so, where the hell was I at? Oh, the microtransaction shop, right? Because you buy the expansion, and you pay a monthly subscription fee, and then it's like, why is there still a shitload of microtransactions and stuff? It's like, it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, like, why that's the case. I mean, fucking hell. But they definitely aren't that intrusive. They're not, there's not, like, a ton of shit in there that's like, what the fuck is this, you know? They don't shove it with a bunch of convenience items like Guild Wars 2 does, from what I can tell. And, yeah. Next thing is going to be the cutscenes. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, Chief. I haven't really paid attention to the story very much, but I really like the cutscenes because it actually feels like my character is a part of something similar to Destiny. Like, it shows my character in the cutscenes, which I cannot believe I'm actually saying this should be a fucking thing, right? Because you look at World of Warcraft, right? Our characters are basically never in cutscenes. I mean, there sometimes are and there's sometimes not. Like, you look at, I don't know. It feels like our character is never really that impactful. You look at, like, this is another game, but Borderlands 3, right? One of the biggest things that pissed me off about that game, even though it's not an MMO, is that our character never fucking appeared in cutscenes. Like when Maya dies or whatever, right? We could have done something, but our character wasn't there in the cutscene. It's like, this is so fucking dumb. I don't like it when games do that kind of shit, and I think pretty much for almost every cutscene, from what I could tell, you're in it, which I think is cool as fuck. And also, they're really stylized and really cool. Some of them have voice acting, some of them don't, and you could take the cutscene at your own pace. You could read through the text, you can look at the visuals, and then go to the next voice line. It's so stylized and so ridiculously cool and easy to understand. It's fantastic. The way they handle the cutscenes in this game is just so unbelievably cool, and I love it like that. And yeah, next thing here is going to be fishing. I have a level 25 fishing class. And I love fishing because you actually individually level it like an actual class, and it gives you more abilities and things you could do and stuff like that with it, with the class. I just think it's so cool. Fishing is fairly brainless, I guess. It's not like as brainless as World of Warcraft's fishing, but it's kind of almost there. It's sort of like a chill thing you could do. I just like fishing because and this is something Guild Wars 2 lacks for me, is whenever I don't want to be killing shit and I don't want to experience combat, I can go and do fishing. And then there's also the Fisherman's Guild, where there's like actual like guild quests for the fishers every 5 levels, which is really cool. And dude, fishing is fucking fun, man. It's just a nice fun. I literally spent 3 or 4 hours straight fishing, which is crazy to think. I love fishing in games, if you can't tell. Animal Crossing, World of Warcraft, I really wish Guild Wars had it. When I heard they had it in this game, I was like, oh, I'm getting into it. And yeah, fishing's so much fucking fun. It is a little weird at first, but then you get really used to it. And something cool is that you can actually sit while you fish. You can do /sit while you're fishing. And you like pull out like a chair basically, and you sit on it. It's really cool. Next thing is going to be the Duty Finder. The Duty Finder is really fucking cool. It's a really cool thing. It is essentially the Party Finder from, not the Party Finder, like the looking for group tool or whatever from World of Warcraft, where you can matchmake for stuff. You got the dungeons and all the raids. I mean, there's like normal mode raids you can matchmake for, which I cannot believe. Like, the community doesn't seem really pissed off about it, which is really cool. I really like the fact that you can go and matchmake for raids and stuff. And there's also a Party Finder system as well, which looks really cool. I mean, it literally is just an in-game LFG. Where's the Party Finder at? Is it... I thought it was under social... Oh, there it is. Party Finder. There it is. So, Party Finder. What's really cool about the Party Finder is that you can actually go over it and... Oh, these are selling. I hate when people fucking do that shit. It's so annoying. So you can go to... raids, or you can go right here, and it says beginners, first timers welcome. Now I think this is actually a little preset you could put over it, which is really fucking awesome. I love this, man. So this way I can go in and I don't have to ask and be like, hey, I'm a first timer, is it okay if I do this with you guys? No, it's you're welcome, man. Here you go. It's right here. I just cannot believe that more games haven't done this shit. It's just so fucking cool. And I'm definitely planning, when I get into raids that are not normal mode and stuff like that, I'm definitely going to hit up the Party Finder and stuff like that. Even though there aren't a whole lot of people using right now for some reason. There's actually not a whole lot of people. Wow. Maybe we're on the weird part. I don't really know. Wait, so is the Party Finder connected to the... Oh, you know what? I think it is. Wait, is it? I don't know how exactly this works, to be honest with you. Yeah, I don't know. I think you actually put it under here, and then that's how you matchmake with people or something? Dude, I don't even fucking know. But I think it's cool as hell. I really, really like that personally. And, yeah. Next thing is going to be a really quick, another 2 points, and that is... the fact that you can have all your classes on one character. I think this is cool because of the fact that you can kind of keep that one character throughout all the lore and stuff like that, and it makes you a little more immersed because you're not on different characters over and over and over again. It just, I don't know, it's kind of cool because we all have that one character that we mained and we absolutely love. Well, that's kind of our character for all the classes now. I think that's really, really cool. And then the next thing is going to be, from what I could tell, the flying mounts are not easy to get, but they don't really seem tedious to get, or flying in areas doesn't seem tedious to get because of how, at least compared to World of Warcraft, because World of Warcraft you have to grind and grind and grind world quests to get reputation, and it is just so fucking annoying. And yeah, and the transportation's really easy as well with these Aetherytes and stuff like that you can transport to using Gil. That's cool. I like that. And yeah. It's basically waypoints from Guild Wars 2, to be honest. Next thing here is, except it's actually way cooler. I mean, look at those fucking things. It's way cooler than waypoints. Going into the cons here now. Not a lot of open world content. This game is obviously heavily focused on instance PvE content, which isn't a bad thing. I love my instance PvE content, but I also would like some amount of open world content. Now, yes, there are hunts and fates and stuff like that, but none of them really seem to be as prominent as dungeons and stuff like that. This is a huge contrast to Guild Wars 2 because Guild Wars 2 has a massive focus on open world with meta events and map completion and dynamic events and all these other things, jumping puzzles and stuff like that. I mean, there's lots of things to do in the open world in Guild Wars 2 that I loved. But I also kind of miss that instance content feeling, and instance content in Guild Wars 2 straight up sucks. I'm gonna be honest with you, it straight up sucks ass. You could definitely tell they haven't put a lot of attention in instance content in Guild Wars 2. But yeah, not all open world content, which kind of sucks. And speaking of that, the world, I don't really feel like, you know, blown away by the world in this game. Like, I remember entering Elwynn Forest for the first time, right? I was like, holy shit, this is really cool. The music, I mean, obviously the music in this game is great, but it was just amazing. I loved the world. The world doesn't feel that cool in my cat scratching on my chair. The world doesn't... Why are you on top of my fucking chair? The world doesn't feel that cool in this game. It's not visually interesting, at least with the A Realm Reborn areas. It's not that cool. And maybe besides like this city and a couple other areas, there's nothing in this world that I'm like, wow, I really like that area. And yeah, it's just kind of an unfortunate thing that kind of sucks. And you would think that it would be a massive negative, but I think the positives definitely outweigh the negatives in that way. Backtracking galore for quests. This is fucking annoying. I've always hated backtracking, but this game seems to go insane on backtracking. Like, if you pick up a quest, like, there's some points where I already have to run to like 5 fucking NPCs when it could just be done with NPCs in a single area, and then you have like a little cutscene or something of me talking to those NPCs. It's like, it just, I know for like story reasons it might take, you know, some situations where they're like spread out and whatnot, but like, it just feels fucking retarded making me constantly go to all these different NPCs during a quest. Why not just have them in one area, you know? It's really fucking dumb. And I don't mind turning in quests. I really don't mind that at all. But, you know, requiring you to go to all these different NPCs for some of the quests is just so ridiculously annoying. And yeah, no add-on support from what I can tell, which definitely kind of sucks. And also the next thing here is going to be the combat during leveling. Could feel very, very slow at times because of that 2.5 second global cooldown. And I'm wondering if they will ever bother lowering the GCD in this game. Probably not, because they want to kind of play it. I feel like that's probably a big risk considering that their community's gotten, you know, really used to the combat at this point. And the community's thriving as fuck. I mean, this is a massive community. There's a lot of people playing this game. This is considered to be one of the best, one of the, you know, highest population MMOs. I mean, it's like this World of Warcraft, Elder Scrolls Online, and you got the more people down on like Guild Wars 2 and Terra and a couple other ones. But yeah, that's going to be the cons, guys. There's not a whole lot of cons, honestly. I really like this game. I showed my friend it, and he was like, wow, it looks boring, and that's mainly because I was doing the leveling. But for the most part, this game is fun as fuck. Now, I don't know if he would find it fun, but hell, that's what I thought about Guild Wars 2, and he finds that game really fun. And the next con here is this game can be really expensive because of the fact that it's subscription-based. That's pretty much an automatic con for me. Even though I love the game, it does kind of suck at subscription-based. Jesus Christ! Fuck off! What is my cat doing? Okay. Anyway, that's going to be it. And, yeah. Peace.